Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of dance break. Now look at the person next to you. That is a command. Say, I recognize the God in you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. From every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, namaste, I bow to you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of, this is you. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I can do. I used to think God was the sun, God is the sun, but God's so much more than the earth or the stars. All of creation, God is creator, all in all, needing us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you. Command my hands, what must they do? Command my life, it's here for you. God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things new. God needs us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I can do. Come on, show me. Thank you so much. Please be seated. You sound great this morning. All right, and if there's any kids that would like to go with Miss Steph to the youth department, you're dismissed.
Good morning, Unity at Music City.
Good morning.
Let's begin this portion of our service by taking a deep and centering breath. Today's centering statement is, I intentionally move towards my heart's desire. Many people think that visualizing a goal and developing a positive attitude towards it will be enough to attract the good that we desire into our lives and into our world. While those activities are essential, that is only part of the equation. In addition, we must take inspired steps towards fulfilling our physical needs and our heart's desires. Whether it's a big or small step, it instantly aids us in attracting the relationships, outcomes, and enhanced abundance we seek. The law of inspired action is all about taking those real, actionable steps to invite what we want into our lives. Often that inspiration comes from within, from that gentle internal nudge that we all feel. Inspired action will come about when we are aligned with who we are, which is an extension of source energy, the divine love that is within us and within all things. When we let go of our need to control how things work and are instead open to all possibilities, it makes room for new ways of achieving the goals that we might have not considered otherwise. And taking physical steps to move ourselves closer to our vision is so very crucial, even if we need to push ourselves out of our comfort zone to do so. Practicing this law is all about Practicing this law is all about slowing down, getting quiet, creating space for our internal guidance, and remembering who we truly are. When we let our heart be our guide, we need only to give ourselves a little nudge to start down a new path. And now please repeat these affirming statements after me. Using divine guidance, I intentionally move towards my heart's desire.
Using divine guidance, I intentionally move towards my heart's desire.
I release my fears and fulfill my dreams.
I release my fears and fulfill my dreams.
With God as my source, I can achieve anything my heart desires.
With God as my source, I can achieve anything my heart desires.
And so it is.
And so it is. What a great way to start the service, right? Intentional action. Welcome to Unity of Music City. We're so happy to see everybody. Whether or not you realize it, you are here by divine appointment. Whether you realize it or not, your soul made the soul choice to bring your energy here to play with ours. We're so happy that you did that this morning. I do believe we've got several announcements, so let's get started. Where is Miss Julie? That's my dad's favorite song right there.
All right. I got some jokes from Benita and Amy.
Oh boy, here we go.
What do you call a happy cowboy? A jolly rancher. Okay, what was the other one? Why did the cowboy get a dachshund?
Why?
Because he wanted to say, "Get along, little doggy." Also, thank you. All right. I don't have a Girl Scout song to sing. I don't know. I dropped out. I'm like, wait a minute, we're not camping. I'm dropping out of this thing. So, all right.
Basketball's more fun.
Totally. Well, Scouts is awesome, and anyway, we didn't get to camp. So, all right. So announcements for today, Sunday, October the 8th. I need to do this in character, don't I? Howdy, Unity. How are you all? How y'all doing out there? All activities, I'm not going to do it. All activities and meeting links and phone numbers can be found on the website Weekly Happenings. It's going to slip into, I know this accent's going to come in here. Google Calendar, or you can always email the church. We're looking for volunteers to paint the Sunday celebration room. We require a minimum of 6 volunteers to commit in order to do this project. The initial strategy is to prep on Sunday, the 22nd, October the 22nd, after church, and paint on Monday, Tuesday, and clean up on Wednesday, the 23rd, 24th, and 25th. Actual dates and times will be identified among those who volunteer. Please use the sign up button in the weekly happenings or on the website to volunteer for the job description that you prefer and identify the dates and times that you can be available. See Deborah Champion for additional information. And is Deborah here today? Okay. See her for details. Spirituality in God, I just can't do it.
Worth a try.
Spirituality. Woo!
Do I need to start throwing ones at you?
Oh, really? Woo! Spirituality and recovery. Come join us in a weekly 1-hour discussion meeting about the 12 steps of recovery, their spirituality and principles, and how we can put action behind our talking the talk and better walk the walk in our daily lives. All are welcome. You need only bring 3 things each week. Number 1, willingness. Number 2, honesty. Number 3, open-mindedness. Hope to see you Wednesdays at 6 p.m., 826 Wren Road, Goodlettsville. And Marge, thank you for doing that. We appreciate you. Safe Paul update. Excuse me. We will begin to collect non-perishable food items to support Safe Paul in our community. These items will create food boxes for those individuals who have some ability to cook but are needing some temporary support with food and meals. Think of things that can be prepared together to create a meal, like pasta noodles, sauce, can of soup, box of rice, chili, box of cornbread, etc. You can begin bringing in these items at any time and place them on the marked shelves inside the small classroom. We really appreciate your support and donations, and questions about this, please see Sarah Esper right back here waving in the cool glasses. Loving those, digging them. And back from Washington State, so welcome back, safe journey back. Teens Unplugged, Monday, October 16th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Mindfulness 101 for teens. Love donation appreciated. Group Meditations, Thursday, October the 19th from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. Guided and silent meditations for all levels of experience. Love offering appreciated. Full Moon Gathering, Saturday, October the 28th at 7. Join us around...
It's the 28th. I got a typo.
I thought I said August.
No. You're fine.
Yeah. October the 28th at 7, correct? Join us around the fire here at Wren Road. You had to be there a few weeks ago because I kept repeatedly saying October in August. So that is the 28th of this month. Happy Class, a sign-up sheet and information for the next Happy Class set for Monday, October the 30th is now on the bulletin board. Had to double check, make sure I said October on that as well. Announcements for active members is added in by Valerie. We are planning our annual membership meeting in November and are looking for members interested in becoming a member at large for next year. We have 2 seats for members ready to participate on the Leadership Council. And see Valerie Dennison or the bulletin board today for more information. You need to add anything to that? Awesome. She's got it all nicely written. And I believe that does it for this week. Have a great week, everyone.
If you've ever said to yourself while you're sitting here, you know what, this would be a great spiritual community to do this in, you should become a member at large and bring your ideas to the Leadership Council. That would be amazing because that's what we're all about here is fresh new ideas, things that are going to reach people, things that are going to continue the mission of this spiritual community. So I urge you to seriously to consider being a part of the Leadership Council at your spiritual community. So, all right, well, let's sing. It's time to sing, and we are doing the greatest hits of the year so far for monthly mantras. So the band got together for a rehearsal a couple of weeks ago, and we went through all 9 songs that we've done as monthly mantras so far this year, and we narrowed it down. We just realized that there's 5 Sundays in the month of October. If you hadn't realized that, there's 5 Sundays. So we're kind of scrambling for our 5th song, but we'll get it down. Don't worry. But today we're going to do Love Only Knows. We did this a couple of months ago. This was a fan favorite. So, and this is such a great song that goes towards the mission and the vision and the purpose of our spiritual community. So let's all stand as we are able and remember it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Love knows no distance, love knows no race. Love knows no country, love knows no faith. Love plays no favorites, love doesn't care who or why or what or where. Love only knows that love is real, making no distinctions. Love feels, love goes beyond nature and need. How can this be? Love only knows. Love only knows. Love knows no titles. Love knows no names. Love knows no history, no pride or shame. Love knows no secrets. Love builds no walls. And I believe there's love in us all. Love only knows that love is real, making no distinctions. Love feels, love goes beyond nature or need. How can this be? Love only knows.
Love only knows.
Love only knows.
Love only knows.
Willingly,
Love only knows.
faithfully,
Love only knows.
endlessly,
Love only knows.
perfectly, oh, perfectly. And love only knows that love is real, making no distinctions. Love feels, love goes beyond nature and need. How can this be? Love only knows.
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 Love only knows. All right. Thank you so much. Please be seated.
Well, if you're at a loss, you can do that one twice.
Right.
We won't mind. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Music City. I invite you into this meditative portion of our service. Feel free to close your eyes, but it's not necessary. Let yourself relax, and that is helpful but not necessary. Lower your shoulders. Feel the release that gives. A release that can be helpful, but not necessary. You see, there is a divine love from which you are made that is freely given to you. You don't have to believe the right thing or sit the right way, say the right mantra. This love is yours. It is in you. It is all around you. It holds you. It walks with you. And you don't have to do anything to earn it. There is nothing that you have to do. Nothing that is necessary. But what may be helpful is you just noticing it, acknowledging it, being grateful for it. And so I invite you into this space of noticing, this place where, for just a brief moment together as a spiritual community, we can completely rest in the knowledge and acknowledgement of divine love that lives in us and around us, through us, as us, comforts us, guides us, soothes us, heals us. Rest together in that love now, in the silence. In the silence. Mother, Father, God, Great Spirit, Divine Creator of this universe, Sacred Presence living in us. We are so grateful for your infinite love. We are so grateful for the way that you mother us, father us, hold us. We're grateful for the knowledge that you see us as beautiful. And so it is.
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How deeply you're connected to my soul.
Well, that felt good. Did that feel good to you? Because that felt good to me.
It felt like breathing pure oxygen.
I think you can get high from that. I'm not sure, Ryan. We have no PowerPoint today. I know that some of you come just for the pretty pictures.
Babies and puppies and kitties.
I am so sorry for you. There is no PowerPoint, and that is on purpose. There's not even an iPad sitting up here. It's all right here. It's all right here. Those of you who are afraid may leave now. This is a talk that's going to take place in 3 parts. This is part 1. When I was a kid, my mother had, many of you know that my family was very religious. My father was a minister. My mother had a rule on Sunday mornings when we were getting ready for church, and that rule was that we could have the television on as long as it was on religious programming. Right? Yep. Now that was not hard. I am of what I consider to be the first true television generation. We were the Brady Bunch kids, right? We grew up on television. But we were still the generation that had 3 channels and maybe a PBS station. 2 of those channels, by the way, were fuzzy half the time. And you might have aluminum foil up on the top of your television antennas. So it wasn't really difficult because there wasn't much else playing on Sunday morning except for religious programming. So I grew up, and of course, every time there was any kind of special religious program on at night, we had to watch that. So I grew up very familiar with names like Oral Roberts, Robert Schuller, Kenneth Copeland, Billy Graham, Catherine Kuhlman, Ernest Angley, Kenneth Copeland. Did I say Kenneth Copeland? Yeah. I had a best friend in high school who thought he was the second coming of Jesus, so I'm sure that's why I put it in there twice. James, all of them. And I got to tell you that over the course of my life, I have seen some of those people with varying degrees of personal respect coming from me. Some of those folks, I believe, were very, very sincere in what they were attempting to do. Some of them, and I'll be honest, I'm not going to name any names. It's my personal feeling, as always with anything in this community. What I feel or say or do, you can make your own choices about that. Some of them I began to see with a little less respect, and in fact, there were some I think might have even leaned into a place I call scam artist land, right? This past summer, because I am of the TV generation, this past summer I binge-watched Little House on the Prairie. And even Little House on the Prairie in the 1970s had an episode, I'd totally forgotten about this, but in one of the later seasons had an episode about a tent preacher who came around doing a tent revival and was doing faith healings, right? And of course, in the course of the episode, it was discovered that he had planted some people in the audience and that he was a scam artist, right? Because here's one of the dangerous places with religion and spiritual thought is that when people face a time of what feels like human desperation, they are vulnerable to people who may not have good intentions. Anybody then who says, I can take away your desperation, I can give you an answer to that, right? Anyone then, I'll give you anything you want. I'll mortgage my house. I'll be, right? We all know the stories of little old people who send televangelists money they don't have, right? And so this has long been an issue that has been fairly sensitive in all religious thought. Unity, the movement out of which this church was born, we're no longer officially affiliated with the Unity Association of Churches, but that's not because we're mad at them. We love them. And we're just as unity as anything else. Unity began as a kind of prayer ministry that took place in the home of Charles and Myrtle Fillmore. And Myrtle Fillmore herself had tapped into her own spiritual alignment and had been pretty sickly in her life, and she had prayed and she had affirmed and she believes healed herself from things such as tuberculosis, right? She had several ailments that she claimed authority over, as they would say, as Kenneth Copeland would say, claimed authority over and healed herself from, right? And so Unity has long had a strand of this kind of, for lack of a better term, faith healing energy. There's been an aspect of that in Unity. And one of the sayings, I'm not sure if it came from Myrtle Fillmore or from Emily Cady, who wrote Lessons in Truth and a lot of basic Unity texts. There's a saying that I've heard said in many, many Unity churches over and over and over again, and that is this: I am a child of God and I do not inherit sickness, right? And there's nothing inherently wrong with that phrase. And again, what I believe, you don't have to, right? We have our own paths in here. I think what happens with a lot of spiritual catchphrases, a lot of spiritual mottos, right, one-liners, is that they can work very beautifully for a person in a personal experience. And when we turn around and we try to make them then the equation by which we receive the same outcome as this other person, then we turn it into something different. Does that make sense? It becomes something a little bit different when we take it out of here and we start to say, well, this is the path, this is the way. Because here's the problem I've always had with that. And again, this is me, doesn't have to be you. Remember last week we talked about questioning your belief system, even this one. Re-examining always re-examining. If it can't stand the light, it needs to go anyway, right? And the problem I always had with it is this. If you go down to Vanderbilt University Medical Center right now, or if you go to St. Thomas, or St. Thomas Midtown, or Centennial, or Skyline, or Summit, or any of the major hospitals, and you pick any floor whatsoever that you want to pick, and you walk up and down that floor and you look in any room, you're going to find the same thing in every one of them. Child of God, child of God, child of God, child of God. Because in oneness, none of us have a greater inheritance. None of us are closer to God's love than anyone else. We don't have to hold our mouth a certain way. We don't have to go to the right church. We don't have to believe the right thing. We don't have to know the right affirmation. We don't have to know any of it. Because you don't have to, I do not believe in a negotiated grace. We do not negotiate grace. Grace, by its very nature, is unearned. It is because we live in the love of the goddess, and she loves us all equally. Nobody deserves it more or less than anyone else. That is my belief. Part 2. I have tried to figure out how to say this sentence in a better way for 2.5 weeks. And I can't say it any other way. I've been diagnosed with breast cancer. And that is the human experience that this spiritual being is currently having. I don't know a lot yet about what that will mean. I have a surgical and medical oncology appointment on Thursday of this week. With every new part of this process already, it becomes more and more real. This today, telling you, my spiritual community, is a big layer of realness. It's a big layer of realness. Some of you know already, maybe not all of you know, that Reverend Margie Hart, our dear friend, is a few months ahead of me on this journey. And so I've appreciated so much being able to have Margie minister to me and be willing to be a Sherpa of sorts, and for us to hold each other's hands through this. I don't know much about this except that everybody is different and everybody's journey is different. I have a sister who is 19 months older than I am. She's at least 18 months wiser than I am. She's probably watching right now. And she went on this same journey about 4 or 5 years ago. She went through the process herself. It was very unnerving for our family. We had always said for many, 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 many years, we don't have cancer in our family, right? Almost like it was a badge of honor, almost like we were special. And Delinda, my sister, said to me back then, when she was going through a process, and she reminded me again recently, she said, you know, when I first was starting down this road, I went to the very human place of saying, why me? Why me? And she said it didn't take long for that to convert into, why not me? 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in her life. Why would I think I'm special? Right? Why would I think I'm special? A friend of mine at work, when I told her, she said, oh, cancer sucks. And she said, you know, why does it have to happen to those who are so undeserving? And I knew she was trying to be nice. I knew she was trying to say, why you, Deb? You shouldn't have to go through this. But immediately I thought to myself, deserving, none of us are deserving of cancer. None of us are deserving of heart disease. None of us are deserving of these things. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And this is the human experience that I'm having right now. And why not me? Right? Now I want to tell you, by the way, I just want to say that I don't know exactly what will happen. I'm sure there will be a couple of Sundays that I will probably need to not be here. I've talked to the executive council already, and they're ready to handle that as needed. But if I can be here, I'll be here. I will walk through this journey with you, and hopefully it will be as graceful as it can possibly be. I want any of you to know who have children here that Stephanie knows. She's not telling your kids, but that she knows, and just so you know when you walk out there. So we'll find out Thursday what the treatment plan is. So here's part 3 of my talk. I am so grateful for 3 miracles that I can claim today. Number 1, I am so grateful for the miracle of science. Science is a miracle. That is one of the miracles by which God has shown up in our lives, right? I'm old enough, just like I'm old enough to remember when there were only 3 channels and 2 of them were fuzzy. I'm old enough to remember the days when we used to whisper, cancer. You didn't even say it out loud, right? I'm old enough to remember when just hearing the word felt like a death sentence. And I'm so grateful that I'm going to be walking through this in an age where we have done so much work in the miracle of science. I'm so grateful for those little nerds. I am so grateful for those little nerds who feel drawn to those science and those math classes, who go off to college and say, I want to study chemistry and biology. It somehow turns my crank, and I'm going to devote my life to finding a cure to this, devote my life to finding a treatment for this. Those millions of people around the globe, the Centers for Disease Control, the National Institutes of Health, all of them are gifts from God. All of them are gifts from God. And this, of course, as an academic, it's easy for me, but I got to tell you, I have no problem embracing the miracle of modern Western medicine. No problem at all. I'll be with the Vanderbilt Breast Clinic. I've heard nothing but great things about them. I feel very, very confident in the team that is going to help walk with me through this. So I'm grateful. I am grateful. I have a friend who's an Episcopal priest. We grew up together in the Nazarene Church. We both became gay. I became So the statistics tell you that if you grew up in the Nazarene Church, I used to tell the folks at Trevecca, I say, look, if you lock 500 people of the same gender in one building at 11 o'clock every night, stuff's going to happen. I mean, what do you think? So we both grew up in the Nazarene Church. He became an Episcopal priest. I became a Unity minister. Every year on the Sunday closest to Charles Darwin's birthday, he preaches a sermon on Darwin and the gratitude that he has for Darwin and science and scientific understanding that is in and of itself a gift from God. Number 2. This is like A, B, C. I've already got 1, 2, 3 going. This has got to be B. All right. B, the second thing, the second miracle that I claim that I'm so grateful for are the people around me. Miracles show up in our lives every day with the people we encounter. Right? There have already been people who've said things to me that just feel so like a balm on my spirit. I'm so grateful for my wife, Nikki. You know someone loves you, but then when the rubber hits the road and they, by God, step up, you're like, oh, they do. They do love me. That's true. And when Nikki first said, I will cancel anything I have to cancel. I will take off my calendar anything I have to take on. Y'all know how busy she is, in and out and up and down and all over the world and back. And to have that incredible support, she's an amazing caregiver, even in the times I've only just had like a flu or something like that, but I know how wonderful she is. I'm so grateful for my sister, Delinda, and the way that she has had to just stop herself from getting in the car and coming on down here. I'm grateful not that she went through this. I wish no one would go through this, but I'm grateful that she's able to shine a light on the path. I'm grateful that Margie's able to shine a light on the path and help me know that I am not alone. I am grateful for the friends who have said so many wonderful things to me already and have just shown up with compassion and love. And I've told them, I will take every prayer, every candle lit, every oak tree danced around. Any way you want to send positive energy and juju, I'll take it. I'm open, send it. Those of you who are Reiki practitioners, you don't even have to ask my permission. Just go ahead and send long distance Reiki. I'll take it. Right? Whatever it is you want to send, I will take it. I'm so grateful for this spiritual community. I'm so grateful for the love that I feel for each and every one of you, and that I feel coming back towards me all the time, consistently. I'm grateful for knowing that I can face this openly and honestly with you and rely on you and know that I don't have to question that people will be there. It means the world to me. It really does. And for every person along the way, I was sitting, I had to, as if we don't have to, like put salt in the wound. I had a gynecologist appointment this week, right? Like as if one thing at a time isn't enough. And of course, as I was sitting there being checked in by the nurse, she's asking my history, and I tell her that I've been diagnosed with breast cancer. And I could see this nurse switch from clinical person to human being. And she reached out and put her hand on my knee, and she said, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Those people at the Vandy Breast Clinic, they're going to take you under their wing, and you're going to be fine. And then she reached right over and she tapped me right on the chest. She said, you're strong in here. Had never met me from Adam. She just said, you're strong in here. You're going to be fine. That was a miracle that I accepted and I brought into my life. So grateful. C. 3C, for those of you who are keeping up by the outline. I am so grateful for the miracle of my spiritual understanding. I am so grateful for the way I can feel divine presence in me and know that I am not alone. I am so grateful for the power of prayer. I am so grateful for understanding the impact keeping my vibrational energy up will have. I'm so grateful for understanding the healing power of laughter. I'm so grateful for understanding the healing power of people around you who vibe with you. I remember years ago when a friend of mine was in brain surgery, and we had about 35 people out in the ICU. And the nurse practitioner with the neurosurgeon came out, and she said, you know what? I can almost tell who's going to make it by how many people they have in the lobby, in the waiting room. And I don't even know if she understood what she was saying, but I think what she was saying is there's just powerful energy vibrating. There's the wagons have been circled, and we're sending up the vortex of positive energy, right, around this. I don't know what other miracles will come my way. I have no idea what this process will be like. I have no idea what's ahead of me. As I told a friend the other day, I said, I feel deep within me that it's all going to be okay in the long run. But I have to take a long run. You got to run the race. You got to fight the fight in the meantime. And I know there will be times that I will be afraid. There will be times that I might be in pain. There will be times that I'm just scared. I've done my best as someone who teaches research skills to stay off the internet. Right? To stay off the internet. Not jumping to any conclusions until I talk to my doctors on Thursday and let them tell me what we're doing, where we're going. But we're going to go and we're going to be fine. And I needed to tell you about this. I believe in the power of prayer. I have had so many people this week who started their response to me that way, and it felt so good. I loved the way they did not assume anything. People at work who I would tell about the diagnosis, and they would just look at me and say, well, I believe in the power of prayer, and I will be praying for you. And I appreciated that so much. And I believe that a prayer can be anything. Emerson says that a farmer kneeling in his field is a prayer, right? Planting his seeds. I believe that every single time at any moment that you have a thought about me, you've just sent a prayer, right? Every single time you even have a little inkling at all, you've sent a prayer. But I ask when you do that, I only ask for one thing. That you stop and you say a prayer for Margie. And then you pray for anyone in your life who you know is struggling, having a human experience. And then you pray for the 1 out of every 8 women. I'm no more special than they are. I have not negotiated a grace that they do not have access to. I have not earned or deserved God's love any more than they do, even if they don't believe in God. They've earned God's love every bit as much as I have. And that is the end of my outline. And I believe that's about all I can say today. So thank you so very much.
Thank you, Reverend Deb. I am usually listening to her lesson to try to bridge the gap between something in her lesson and gratitude. I don't think I need to do that today. I think we're there. Well, I'm grateful for Reverend Deb. And I think we all agree. What else are we grateful for today? What?
Got it online.
Got it. Okay.
Pam online says, I'm truly grateful for my human experience.
Pam online said, I'm truly grateful for my human experience.
Before I came today, so this is so not coincidental. I have a friend who's in the hospital, has been in the hospital forever, it seems like with pneumonia. So today, I thought, well, what I'm grateful for today is the healthcare workers.
Yeah.
In that industry now, I have few more reasons.
Gratitude for the healthcare workers that take care of us. Absolutely. What else? Cooler weather. Amen. We'll take it. Blue skies. All is well. Life is good, and we are truly blessed. Yes, we are. All right. Well, let's talk about being grateful for our spiritual community. Let's take a look at the contributions and expenses from last week. Make a note of that to yourself, and remember that anything that we don't cover in the blue vase weekly or in classes comes from our savings account. And let's all say, I'm grateful for my spiritual community. I am grateful for my spiritual community. And let's affirm that by saying our offertory affirmation. Divine love flowing through me. All right, let's sing about that gratitude and know that we live in a universe, in a world of infinite abundance. I live in the midst of infinite abundance. I give freely and fearlessly to life. I live in the midst of infinite abundance, and life gives back to me. I live in the midst of infinite abundance. I give freely and fearlessly to life. I live in the midst of infinite abundance, and life gives back to me. And life gives back to me. It does. All right, well, let's all stand together. Let's say the prayer for protection together and really mean it this time as we prepare for the week ahead. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. All is well, life is good. We are truly blessed. All is well, life is good. We are truly blessed. All is well, life is good. We are truly Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you next Sunday at Unity of Music City. Bye, everybody online.